Why do politicians and ex-politicians think it's okay to voice their opinions on issues such as the debunked link between the Black Lives Matter rallies and outbreaks of COVID-19 in Victoria? It is political point scoring and it divides the community. When aren't we all supposed to be in this together?
Now, I'm going to put this to Sarah Henderson, but before we do that, last week on Twitter, our program said that Sarah Henderson had linked the current spike in infections in Victoria to the Black Lives Matter protests. We need to clarify that that is not what Sarah said. On the 21st of June, Sarah Henderson, you asked why Dan Andrews was blaming, in your words, law-abiding Victorian families for doing the wrong thing rather than 10,000 illegal protesters. I just wonder what you actually meant.
Well, Hamish, thank you for that clarification. And in fact, the head of news for the ABC, Gavin Morris, did issue an apology on behalf of QandA because a very erroneous post or two was made in relation to what I said, and I was grossly misrepresented. So I was
what
very
did you
pleased that apology. I was, just let me finish, I was very pleased that obviously that apology was made. But what I was highlighting was the double standard. We had had a number of months where Victorians had not been able to go to funerals, where Victorians had closed businesses, schools were closed, and of course, weddings have been cancelled. And yet there was a real double standard when the Victorian government really did nothing insofar as 10,000 people gathering at the Black Lives Matter protest. And I made the point in that tweet, which you didn't read out, we are all equal under the law. And I think what really stood out to many Victorians is, well, hang on a minute, how can you say I can't gather with 10 of my family members, and yet basically there is very little action, or no action in fact, by anyone in the government in relation to 10,000 people gathering, many of whom, of course, were not observing social distancing and hand hygiene and the like. And today, Hamish, the New South Wales Commissioner, Mick Fuller, made a very important point. He said there is no way that I would tolerate that in New South Wales. They are going to come down very, very heavy on any protest. It doesn't matter what the subject matter is, because he said that if that type of protest was to happen in Sydney, that could set back the state of New South Wales by 5 or 10 years. So I think what I was concerned about, and I think what many Victorians have been concerned about, is that Victoria took no action to stop that protest, and it sent out very mixed messages, and that was really regrettable.
And just to be clear, do you accept that there is no link between those protests and COVID-19 outbreaks or spikes?
Well, Hamish, I'm just interested in the facts.
Yes, so I'm asking you if you accept those facts.
Yeah. Well, Hamish, can you please not suggest that I don't accept the facts? I understand, and the Department of Health and Human Services has advised that some 6 people were positive. Now, whether they actually caught the virus at the protest rally, we don't really know, and I think we will see from the hotel quarantine inquiry many more facts coming out in relation to the genomic sequencing. But what we certainly do know is that that sent out a really bad message, a terrible double standard, where, as I say, you couldn't gather with your family members in your home, but of course you could go to a protest and meet up with 10,000 other people. That was a very, very big mistake,